Welcome back. Raja Pateria, senior Congress leader from Madhya Pradesh, has sparked a massive controversy. In a now viral video, Pateria can be seen and heard asking his people to kill Modi to protect the constitution. Pateria defended himself by saying that he only meant kill Modi politically, but his clarification has hardly helped as the BJPs accused the Congress of being repeat offenders. Will the Congress crack the whip and take action against him, or will it continue to not learn its lessons that personal attacks on Mr. Modi never work?
मोदी धर्म जाति भाषा के आधार पर बांट देगा। मोदी की हत्या करने के लिए तत्पर हो।
Raja Pateria, a senior Congress leader from Madhya Pradesh, has triggered a massive controversy. In a viral video, Pateria is seen asking people to kill Prime Minister Modi to protect the constitution.
कि मोदी इलेक्शन खत्म कर देगा। मोदी धर्म जाति भाषा के आधार पर बांट देगा। संविधान यदि बचाना है तो मोदी की हत्या करने के लिए तत्पर हो। हत्या इन द सेंस कराने का काम। कल मंडलम सेक्टर के
After facing huge backlash, Pateria defended himself, saying that his remarks were misrepresented.
मैं गांधी को मानने वाला आदमी हूं। गांधी की मानने वाला आदमी हत्या की बात नहीं कर सकता। वो वीडियो गलत तरीके से पेश किया गया है।
But Pateria's clarification hardly helped. Hours after the video surfaced, Madhya Pradesh Home Minister Narottam Mishra ordered an FIR to be filed against the Congress leader.
कुछ ऐसे कथन उसमें दिए गए हैं जो कि निश्चित रूप से डेरोगेटरी रिमार्क की श्रेणी में आते हैं और धमकी की श्रेणी में आते हैं, तो FIR में सभी सेक्शंस का समावेश किया गया है।
विकास को नए स्तर पर परिभाषित।
The BJP came down heavily on the Congress party.
प्रश्न ये उठता है कि गांधी खानदान ने क्या मोदी का मर्डर सैंक्शन किया?
Congress MP Rahul Gandhi is currently in the middle of his Bharat Jodo Yatra and talking of peace. But his own party leaders are openly inciting violence against the Prime Minister. So will Congress walk the talk and take action against its errant leader Raja Pateria?
Why is the Congress not taking action against this errant leader? Sanju Verma, BJP national spokesperson, joining us. Gautam Seth is spokesperson of the Congress party. Professor Nalin Mehta is group consulting editor with Network 18 and author of the new book, The New BJP, and George Kurian, political strategist, joining us as well. Sanju Verma, I don't know if you heard Mr. Pateria. He's saying that his statements have been misconstrued. He says Modi ki hatya matlab Modi ko chunav mein harana, not physically Modi ki hatya.
You know, Zaka, I think Raja Pataria's statement that I never meant to kill him, I was insinuating that, you know, he needs to be electorally defeated, seems to be an afterthought, and his excuse seems to be a very poorly worded, lame excuse. And I just have this to say, that, you know, the Congress increasingly, if you look at Mallikarjun Kharge, barely a couple of weeks back, he said, you know, Prime Minister is a 10-headed Ravan. You had Udit Raj who mocked at the, President of India, Draupadi Murmu. Is it only because, she was vehemently and unequivocally, elected and supported by BJP MPs and legislators? Perhaps that is the case. You look at Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, who's been the leader of opposition for the Congress. He calls the president Rashtra Patni. Then you look at, Sandeep Dixit. A couple of years back, he called the late Bipin Rawat Sarakka Gunda.
Okay.
You have Shashi Tharoor and, Sushil Kumar Shinde calling Hindus as Talibanis. The larger point I'm trying to make is that reckless statements by senior Congress top brass seems to be not the exception but the norm. And I think when Raja Pateria says that the BJP and Modi need to be removed because they are against the constitution, I need to remind the Congress and to this gentleman, though he certainly doesn't deserve to be called a gentleman to start with, that, forget the 1975 emergency. Between 1950 when the constitution came into effect and 2021, there have been 105 modifications in the Congress, out of which more than 65 modifications have been done by the erstwhile Congress regimes.
All right.
So we don't need an integrity certificate from the Congress.
Let me ask
on how
Gautam
democratic we are.
Seth of the Congress party. Gautam Seth, the fact of the matter is, from Maut Ka Saudagar to the Chai Wala bribe in 2014, to the NEET jibe in 2019, and most recently, your new president, Mr. Kharge, calling Mr. Modi Ravan or comparing him to Ravan. Fact is, Congress doesn't seem to have learnt its lesson that any kind of personal attack on Mr. Modi always politically backfires on you.
Zaka, before coming on the debate, firstly praying for the quick recovery of our soldiers who have, fought for us today so fearlessly. Now, coming to the debate, to begin with, in the strongest of words, the Indian National Congress condemns the shameful statement made by Mr. Raja Pateria. The nation's Prime Minister is as much as my Prime Minister, as much as of a Bharatiya Janata Party member. So please don't teach the Congress party lessons on non-violence as inclusivity, because the Congress has always stood to represent these values enshrined in India's constitution. But I would also like to ask Ms. Sanju Verma, from what she says, does she mean that when Sadhvi Pragya openly calls the murderer of the father of the nation as a despote, it represents the Bharatiya Janata Party's ideology?
The debate is not on Sadhvi Pragya.
Please let me complete. I didn't speak when you were speaking.
No, you can't digress.
Ma'am, let him make his point. You can always rebut. Let him make his point. You can always rebut. Let him finish though first.
Says Maryada todoge to Sita Haran hoga. Did that represent what the BJP stands for?
Now,
when Giriraj Singh comments on the skin color of Mrs. Sonia Gandhi, was that sanctioned by the Prime Minister of India? I'm not trying to say that हमने ये बोला, आपने ये बोला, हम दोनों गलत तो बात को भूल जाएं. No. All I'm trying to say is that such
one second, let him finish. One second, ma'am. You also took 2-3 minutes in your first answer. Let him finish.
That such thought processes represent an individual's way of thinking. We must condemn it, denounce it in the strongest ways possible.
Okay.
And also,
no, denouncing is one thing, Gautam said. Why your party is not taking any action? You have not answered that question. But anyway, Sanju Verma, respond, and then I'll go to the other two guests after that. Yeah.
Zaka, talking about Giriraj Singh's comments, and I can then remind you that you contested the 2017 assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh with Samajwadi Party, and their top leaders were commenting on the color of Jayaprada's innerwear. So please don't get into that territory. Let's be very clear. What did Raja Pateria say? He said that the BJP is anti-constitution. Do we know the emergency of 1975? Who imposed it? Indira Gandhi. Who brought in the first amendment curbing free speech? Jawaharlal Nehru. Who tried to bring in the anti-defamation bill in 1988? Thank God it was thwarted. Rajiv Gandhi. Who defied the Supreme Court and denied Shah Bano a measly alimony of 179 rupees per month? It was Rajiv Gandhi. So Congress has a history of throwing the rule book at the constitution makers, at the highest echelons of the judiciary.
I'm sorry, the nation knows who is getting the political discourse of the nation.
All right, I'm going to pull back from both the political spokespersons for a second. Let me go to Nalin Mehta. Nalin Mehta, the point is that there is a political cost to such personal attacks. Whenever Mr. Modi is at the receiving end of a personal attack, whether it's the Ravan comment or the Motka Saudagar comment or Chaiwala comment, he has this uncanny ability to turn that around into a politically advantageous sort of terrain for him. How does he A, manage to do that, and B, what about what Gautam Seth is asking? Mrs. Sonia Gandhi was also referred to in very disparaging terms in the past. How come that is kosher?
Right. So I think, firstly, I think it's very good of the Congress spokesperson to condemn the statement and to denounce it unequivocally. I think what would be good is also for the Congress leader in question, who's made the objectionable statement, to apologize unconditionally. I think if you outside of this particular incident, you're absolutely right. Every time the Congress or somebody from the Congress says these things like Ravan and so on for Modi, it ends up strengthening brand Modi. And the Prime Minister actually referred to this specifically in his victory speech after the Gujarat election at the BJP headquarters. Part of it, I think, is that it is a deeply held belief in core sections of the Congress and sections of the liberal elite and intelligentsia and the woke section of society, if you like, that Narendra Modi is bad for democracy, that this is going to lead India down a very bad path and so on and so forth. That is not a view that's held by large sections of the electorate and voters in this country. And I think this inability to realize this and constantly fighting on the terrain that the Prime Minister always ends up winning is a tactical and strategic mistake by the Congress. It keeps coming up as a Freudian slip on and off, and sometimes it's very deliberate, like in the way in the manner in which Mallikarjun Kharge had said it during the campaign. So I think this is a lesson the Congress is not yet learned.
Okay, George Kurian, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. I asked Gautam Seth this. Yes, you've condemned what Mr. Pateria has said, but surely you can take action. Proof of the pudding is in the eating. The Congress party will be judged by its actions, not so much by its words. George Kurian.
Well, I agree to you, Zaka. Having said that, the Congress party has gone ahead and condemned this incident in the harshest of words, and I strongly believe, I also do not endorse these statements made by this Congress leader, which brings no relevance to the Congress ideology in particular. Congress doesn't believe in making such statements of enmity or revenge, for that matter. Whatever statement he has made, he has come on record to say that and clarified that, he didn't mean it. But having said that, in the first place, he shouldn't have used such words for the Prime Minister, who is the Prime Minister for the entire nation, irrespective of any party. I agree to the opening remarks made by Gautam here that, the Congress party has denounced this statement made by him, and I'm sure that the Congress party needs to lead by example and take some collective action or some kind of there is the committee that which looks into things like that. So I believe that Congress party will look into this matter.
Gautam said the irony is that Rahul Gandhi is in the Bharat Jodo right now, and he's going everywhere saying about peace and love. He says, मेरे दिल में मोदी के लिए नफरत नहीं है, RSS के लिए नफरत नहीं है, लेकिन मैं उनके खिलाफ लड़ूंगा. And in the middle of that, this is a hate-filled statement by one of your leaders, a former minister, by the way.
Well, Zaka, the nation has always been known, our nation has always been known for politics of progress, inclusivity, from the era of Mahatma Gandhi, Nehru ji, to Rajiv ji, and even Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. This name-calling and personal attacking was never a part of the political discourse of this nation. And today, sadly, be it BJP leaders like Mr. Kailash Vijayvargiya, Sadhvi Pragya, or anyone else, or be it Mr. Raja Pateria, who spoke today, we unequivocally condemn such statements, denounce such statements. And what I personally and as a Congress representative am against is the self-oriented, selective politicization of such issues, of such statements, which lead to kind of derailing the conversation in the nation. That should have happened on social issues. That should have happened on economic equality, or on, the ongoing inflation.
Of course, all of these issues were raised by the Congress party, both in Gujarat and in Himachal. In Gujarat, it did not work. In Himachal, it worked. But Sanju Verma, I keep coming back to this point that the Congress keeps asking again and again, that BJP leaders have also said pretty disparaging things about Sonia Gandhi, about Priyanka Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi has been called in disparaging terms for a number of years now. So how come that is acceptable, but anything said about Mr. Modi is not?
Zaka, let's be very clear. Let's not draw a false equivalence. Disparaging remarks have been made by XYZ from each side. But to say that I will kill the Prime Minister of India and you have to equate with just about any reckless remark, I think that is, not acceptable. Let's understand very clearly.
We have condemned it.
Can I please finish?
Gautam, please allow Sanjay Verma to make a point. Gautam, please yield. Gautam, please yield. Gautam, please yield. Please relent. Sanju, make your point, please. And no personal attacks. Thank you. Yeah.
Zaka, let's be very clear about one thing. You can't equate the Prime Minister of the world's largest democracy, Narendra Modi, with Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi or Mallikarjun Kharge or XYZ. Get that very clear. And this is not the first time. Do you remember Imran Masood, who said, "Main Narendra Modi ki boti kaat dunga"? He was then promoted to the position of Vice President of Indian National Congress and given a ticket to contest from Muzaffarabad in Saharanpur. It is a different matter that he later joined the Samajwadi Party, earlier this year. So my point is, does the BJP need endorsement of how inclusive it is from the Congress? No. I will end in 20 seconds by telling you just one thing, Zaka. Today in Narendra Modi's cabinet, there are 29 OBCs, 12 ministers who are Dalits, and 8 ministers who belong to the Adivasi or scheduled tribe community. We have the highest number of members in the cabinet today who are from marginalized sections of the society, including 11 women cabinet ministers. This is the most inclusive cabinet ever in India's post-independent history. So please ask Mr. Gautam Seth to keep his certificates of how inclusive or otherwise we are to himself. We don't need your certificates or endorsements.
Gautam Seth and then Nalin Mehta, final word. Gautam Seth.
I don't understand. When you yourself want to bring the political discourse of the nation to discuss such petty issues, to discuss such petty mindset, rather than making sure that the country talks about issues that matter. You don't want us to talk about inflation. You don't want us to talk about unemployment. You don't want us to talk about women empowerment. You don't want us to talk about social security. But yes, one such statement comes in and you want the entire nation to talk about it. Do debates, come to Twitter, go to social media. I'm so sorry. It is you people who are denouncing the political culture of this nation.
All right, I'll give the
final word. It is you people who are making sure that the political culture of the nation falls down.
You know, it comes back to there is a feeling that sections of the Congress party have still not come to terms with the fact that the son of a chaiwala is prime minister. You can call it elitism, you can call it, you know, social discrimination or whatever. But the fact is that sort of feeling driving people like Mr. Pateria to make the statement that he made? Or is it the fact that the Congress is simply not able to taste electoral success against this election-winning machine that the Modi juggernaut has become?
So I think first and foremost, I think the comments in question were very intemperate. They were very unfortunate, and they should not have been uttered. They have been withdrawn. I think there should be an unequivocal apology. The Congress spokesperson has apologized. I think they do reflect a feeling in large sections of the Congress, including at the highest levels of the party as well, about this sense that somehow the BJP's ascendance is somehow illegitimate. That somehow, despite it coming in through electoral victories, that somehow there is something deeply wrong with this. I think this, to my mind, that's where it comes from. I think it's unfortunate. We should not have these kind of debates because they are completely disrespectful to the voter.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. Thanks very much to Nalin Mehta, George Kurian, Gautam Seth and Sanju Verma for joining us. We'll see if the Congress learns its lessons about how personal attacks in the past certainly seem to have hurt it whenever it attacks Mr. Modi personally. Raja Pateria has apologized for his comment, but no action has been taken against him. Not yet. That's a wrap. Mario Shakil joining you with News Episode.